Hello, Aries. Welcome to your 2015 special year ahead forecast brought to you by InsightfulAstrology.com. Aries, we are about to enter another year filled with promise and potential, and your theme for 2015 is kind of interesting, a little complex and even contradictory at times, because on the one hand, the astrology wants you to take a risk, take a leap of faith, and do something a little bit crazy. And there are indications that during certain times of the year, you will be rewarded for doing exactly that. However, an overriding theme, even beyond that, has more to do with you beginning a new karmic lesson about managing your expectations. So we'll have to blend that theme this year and see where it gets us. But before I talk about that, let me tell you about work and career for 2015, because we definitely have some amazing news on the career front for you, definitely on the work front. You have been through a series of sometimes painful changes in career since 2012. That's because since 2012, the planets Uranus and Pluto have been locking horns in a tense square. And with Pluto up in your career sector and Uranus in your sign, I know that you have been revolutionized professionally. It hasn't always been easy, Aries, but ultimately, this has been an empowering experience for you. That experience will continue into 2015, but the stress of it, the chaos and craziness of it will begin to wind down. That's because the very last Uranus-Pluto square will happen on March 16th. So you can be sure that after that time, things will slowly but surely begin to settle down. I will tell you that March and April look to be your most stressful times in career, because not only do we have the last Uranus-Pluto square on March 16th, but on April 4th, there will be a very tense lunar eclipse in your partnership sector. So blending that together, what I'm seeing for you is a potential significant change in business partnerships and how you do business with certain people. And if you're in a client business, there could be some changes with important clients going on during that part of the year as well for you. But remember, Aries, ultimately this is empowering for you because it's all about you going after what you really want professionally. Now, when it comes to your work and your daily busy life and job opportunities, freelance opportunities, you will have no shortage of it. That's because on August 11th and until September 9th, 2016, the planet Jupiter will be in your work sector, giving you a lot of work, more work than you have time for. You're actually going to be in a position where you might have to turn away some jobs. So don't worry, you definitely have opportunities there to be busy. There's going to be changes. You're going to feel fulfilled and happy with whatever work you do. You'll actually be in a position, Aries, to only take on the jobs and the type of work that you find stimulating and fulfilling. And that's a great place to be in. I want you to pay extra special attention to a gorgeous solar eclipse that's happening September 13th, because it does fall in your work sector. And so there's some nice stuff happening there. Whatever new opportunity surfaces for you work-wise, you really want to play it out because it will continue to benefit you for quite some time. Also, October 11th is a day to pay attention to because the planet Jupiter in your 6th house of work will make a gorgeous trine to Pluto in your 10th house of career. So that tells me that this isn't just a job. This is something that's going to really, really help you and pay off professionally. It's going to elevate your status. It's good. And October 25th is another day to pay attention to because Venus and Jupiter will link up in your 6th house of work. That means there's money with some big project happening. Good, good stuff. Speaking of money, Aries, let's talk about that next because there are a little bit of changes here that have to be tied up karmically. That's because Saturn, the planet of restriction and limitation, but also discipline, is finishing up a very important tour in your 8th house. And the 8th house has to do with money that you make from sources beside your own direct income. So Saturn in the 8th house, it'll be there from June 14th until September 17th. And then he's gone, not to come back in that area of your chart again for almost 29 years. But it's during those months that you have this final tying up issue happening with money. You need to figure out debt. If you have any debt to pay off, you may have to really pay attention to it now. If you have any investment decisions that didn't go so well, you'll have to re-strategize. If you owe taxes, it's all going to come out now. Any student loans you may have to pay off, or other loans. Things like that, really, you need to pay attention to, because Saturn in your 8th house is teaching you to stand on your own financially without depending on other resources to help you. And you can do it. But money will be coming in, especially between October 8th and November 8th, while Venus tours your 6th house of work. That work you get, it's paying, so know that. Love and relationships. Jupiter will be in your 5th house of romance until August 11th of this year. So make the most of that yummy connection. You could meet someone very special. You could meet the love of your life. It could be a really fun time. Make the most of Jupiter in your 5th house, especially on March 3rd and June 22nd, because on those days, you're getting the very lucky Jupiter-Uranus trine. Jupiter in your 5th house will trine Uranus in your sign, Aries, and this is amazing. You could absolutely be rewarded if you take a risk in love, if you take a creative risk, and any kinds of chance that you're taking with a child and your relationship with children, it will pay off during this time. There are those tense lunar eclipses that affect the relationship axis that you have to pay attention to on April 4th and again on September 27th. That will define a committed relationship for you. And there may be some compromise necessary, but I know you can handle it. Finally, Aries, karmic changes. Saturn is changing signs this year, and that's a big deal. And this is why I want you to learn how to manage your expectations, because from December 23rd of 2014 through June 14th of 2015, and then again on September 17th, all the way through December 19th, 2017, the planet Saturn will be in your 9th house. This is your beliefs, your ideology, your faith. And with Saturn here, you are going to define a very strong, solid faith for yourself, but it could take some lessons before you get there. And you will have to learn how to manage your expectations. You will also have to deal with a potential crisis in faith on November 26th, when Saturn squares off with Neptune in your 12th house of spirituality. But the good news there is that on March 20th, a solar eclipse in your 12th house supports spiritual development and faith. So there'll be a delicate balance. Remember, Aries, 2015 has so many opportunities for you, so much chance for growth and happiness. But there's also a lesson about knowing when to take risks and expecting rewards, but also how to balance that with really managing your expectations realistically.